So I heard I was on Clubhouse today, and if you guys are not on there yet, definitely join. It's awesome. It's like little podcasts, but there's you can go in and ask questions, but this one was really good. So this doctor came onto the stage and he asked about decision fatigue, and he said, "How do you handle this?"
So guys, we have a new idea.
We have all kinds of ideas, but we're actually following through on this one.
Yes, we are. So a while back, we decided as a group that we wanted to do this new launch, we'll call it. And we want to talk about who knows what. There's no telling what you're going to get with us. But we're calling it our Tidbits. And so each week we'll come with you weekly, right, Billy?
Yes, weekly.
Right. So weekly we'll come with you with a video. It might be myself and Billy. It might be the boys. So we can pull Richie and Will into some of these as well. But we would love to hear if you guys have any examples of tidbits that you would like to hear. We've got some really good ones already planned. But Billy, talk to us a little bit about like, what is a tidbit?
Yeah, so a tidbit is just something on your mind. So do you have questions? Is there just something that you're dying to know or that we're dying to know? So we're going to research it and find out and tell you more about it. So like Becky said, it can be literally anything. I mean, we have a whole list of stuff that we're already prepared to talk about. But if there's something that you guys want to hear more about, please let us know that too, because we're totally open to anything and everything.
Yes.
Well, maybe not everything, but most things.
Right.
Yep.
So think of us like your little researchers.
Yeah.
So, right? Like, so if there's something that you're just like, I would love to know more about this, like, I'm sure we would too. Yeah. So we'll start tonight with our very first tidbit. And it's so funny because this one is one that we actually had on our list. I went back, Billy, I didn't even realize this, but we had it on our list for a while. And then this morning, Billy sent me a message that said, hey, like we should talk about this. And I was like, yeah, this is perfect. So what's our tidbit today, Billy?
So our tidbit is decision fatigue.
Decision fatigue.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is that before we like?
So yeah, it's super interesting. So I heard I was on Clubhouse today, and if you guys are not on there yet, definitely join. It's awesome. It's like little podcasts, but there's you can go in and ask questions, but this one was really good. So this doctor came onto the stage and he asked about decision fatigue, and he said, "How do you handle this?" And I want to keep in mind that it's a doctor, right? So one person said, "Well, I think we should always give ourselves permission to fail." And I was like, oh my God, he's a doctor. He can't really fail. Somebody could die.
Right? Stop.
Yeah. So like, So someone else gave just some really good advice that I thought was great. And I was talking to Becky about it earlier. But it's, if you have routines, right? If you have a routine, you know what you're going to be doing every single day in the morning, every single day at night, then that can help eliminate those low level decisions that you have to make throughout the day. And can actually help you free up your mind for those bigger decisions. So at the end of the day or more, like later in the day, you're not so tired and worn down. And they gave a great example that judges who hear a lot of cases over the course of a day, at the end of the day, they have a greater margin of error in cases in like, sentencing and things of that nature, just because they're so tired and they've had to make decisions all day. So I think that is just really a good lesson for us. If we can eliminate some of those, really small decisions, like what are we going to have for lunch the next day? What are we going to do for dinner? That can really help us to just establish those routines and get us going for the day. So I thought it was super interesting. So I shared it with Becky and I was like, this is really good. I hadn't really thought about it that way.
Yeah, it's funny. So Billy, when you sent this to me, it's definitely one that I try. Like I always think about like, what's the habit that I can put in place so that I don't have to worry about the small things. Like one is literally for the week. Like I write down in my planner, like what I've got coming up for the week. And I know like what my schedule looks like. So I can plan dinner ahead of time, which is critical whenever you've got a crazy calendar, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm just like, let's just go ahead and get those small decisions out on Sunday. And then as we go through the week, like, and it's not like every single day is like, you have to have this. Like, we're not that rigid.
Right.
But it is more of, hey, like, this is what our menu is going to look like for the week. So you get to pick like whatever you're feeling at that point. But I had a prime example this morning, literally, like, as I was reading the message from Billy about decision fatigue. We went this morning, and normally on Sunday mornings, like, I get up and I do my workout just like through the week, and then like get into my day. Well, today we were just like, let's go out. We had a couple of errands we wanted to run. We're like, let's go out, get them done, and then come home and spend the rest of the day like just chilling or all the things. And so we went, literally, we went to Marshall's, and I was like, there's a couple of things that I feel like I want, but I was like, I don't know. I just like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I went through like this whole like battle in my head over like, do I buy the sweatshirt or not? And I know it was super silly. We literally left Marshall's and I was like, I'm not going to get it. And then we went to Target. And while we were in Target, I was like, dang it, I should have just got that sweatshirt. Like, it was less than $10. And Will's like, okay, like, we're going to go back and get it. But like, what's going on with you? And I was like, really? I'm out of my routine. So like, I'm not even prepared to make decisions yet. Like, I feel like my brain's not even working. So when I was reading this, I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a good example of, I'm so used to this routine of getting up and working out that because I hadn't worked out, I was just like, I'm not even prepared to make a decision this morning. As simple as, do I buy the sweatshirt or not? So yeah, my prime example of decision fatigue today.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's just, I mean, and honestly, I mean, I know that caffeine is bad, right? But I love caffeine. And so if I don't have caffeine, don't even come at me in the mornings and ask me a question because you're not going to get a logical answer. So, and I know that that's a bad habit, but it's true. I mean, if I don't have coffee, everybody in the office can tell and they're like, "Oh, you need some coffee." So, pretty interesting though how we're just creatures of habit, I guess. And so but yeah, I think this is truly valid, and I think it's a great point, and I think it's just something for us to consider, right? I mean, if you have that morning routine, which we've talked about in our newsletters, and we're going to talk about our night routines too, but it does help you establish your day and set the intention for the day. So
It does, it does.
I think there's
So
some merit to it for sure.
definitely. So Billy, like, I'm curious now. Like, I think maybe while I'm down, I'm gonna like slip some decaf and just see, like, does it change like how quickly you get going in the morning? I don't
Like
know.
a placebo.
This might be a fun one to try.
Oh my gosh. Okay, if I'm super grumpy, don't be mad at me.
So guys, we would love for, again, like we said at the beginning, share anything that you're just like, I'd love to know more about this. Like, we'll do the research, we'll figure it out. But we'd also love to hear like decision fatigue. Where are some examples that you see this show up, right?
Yeah.
And or what do you do to fix it, right? Like, literally, I was like, okay, like, I can't even think about that now. And was like, well, let me like, let's talk through this. And I was like, yeah, I probably need to go back and get that sweatshirt, right? But what do you guys do? Like, how do you, decide, okay, how do I avoid the decision fatigue? Is it that we prepare the week before, or is it you set out your clothes in the morning, right? That's another example, right? Like, that's, if I'm having to make that kind of decision in the morning, then I have like less capacity to make bigger decisions in the day. Like, I know
Absolutely.
it's silly, but it's just true. Um, so Billy, are you one, do you pull out your clothes before the night before, or are you the morning of?
I'm the morning of. Depends on how I'm feeling, how I'm
Yeah,
looking. So,
I totally agree. Like, how do I need to feel this day? So
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
How do I need to show up? And I don't know that until I wake up.
So true. Like, where do I need to compensate? Where do I know that I need
Yeah.
more energy, or am I okay to be like in my house shoes?
Yes.
uh, all right, guys, we'll share, like I said, anything that you guys find from a decision fatigue. And Billy, thanks for this one. This is a great one. And
Yeah, it was
we'll
good.
come
It
with
got
you
me
guys.
thinking a lot this morning. So I really, really enjoy it. And I know you guys would too.
Yeah, yeah, this is a fun one. So we'll be back next week with more about our tidbits.
Yep. Thank you
Thanks
guys.
for listening. Bye, guys.
See ya.